Miami in particular has gone for more balance in its attack.
Would you believe after 4 games in the season that they've thrown the ball 122 times and ran the ball 120 times? There's a reason for running the ball. Tony Page blocking, Sammy Smith running with the football. They're excellent. And when you talk about the passing game, Marino, talking to Dan yesterday, look at his numbers. He said, I may not throw for 300 yards again this year, but it's not important. I've got a running game now. I've got people that can block. And as long as we win, 300-yard games are not important.
And on the other side of the ledger, Ken O'Brien of the Jets has thrived over the years against Miami. He's had some of the best games of his career against the Dolphins.
Only problem is that young man is going to go up against the number-2 team in defense in the National Football League. But when you look at Ken O'Brien's arsenal, you got to believe that he can put some points on the board. Look at that, Hector McNeil, the 2 rookies, Thomas and Moore, and of course the great Al Toon.
And this is the 50th time that the Jets and Dolphins have met. A series that dates back to the old AFL. The Jets have won 3 of the last 4. They have taken the last 2 here at Joe Robbie Stadium. The Dolphins at 3-1, tied for first in the AFC East with Buffalo. They look to go 4-1 for Don Shula. It will be the first time since the Dolphins have gotten off to that kind of start since 1985. And the Jets come in at 2 up and 2 down. Last Sunday, the Jets winning at New England 37-13, bouncing back from that 30-7 loss against Buffalo. Jets also beat Cleveland, lost at Cincinnati, and new head coach Bruce Coslett has been very pleased with what he has seen over the first 4 games. Jets won the toss. They will receive. JoJo Townsell and Terrence Mathis are back deep, awaiting the kick from Pete Stoyanovich, the second-year player from Indiana who has been kicking deep over the first 4 games. He has really improved in that department. Here's Townsell on the return. Got the good block from Mathis. However, excellent coverage by the Dolphins, led by Mark Higg. So the Jets to the offense, a 15-yard return by Townsell. And this line has played very effectively. Big game last week for Dave Cadigan at right guard. Freeman McNeil and Brad Baxter are the starting running backs. Al Toon, Rob Moore, and the tight end Mark Boyer. And when they go to the extra receivers in the spread, you'll see Townsell and the rookie from New Mexico, Mathis, come on. A first down for the Jets at the 13-yard line. And O'Brien opens up by hitting Blair Thomas. So a change in that starting lineup. Blair Thomas opening up. Hugh Green, the outside linebacker, making the stop. And a look at that Dolphin front 7. Carl Wilson, once again the starter at left defensive end for T.J. Turner. Went through a difficult stretch last week. Arrived late for the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, back from his mom's funeral in Houston. And Wilson the starter, though Turner will see action later on. That is the Miami 47 alignment in the passing situation. A second down and 1, and it is Baxter battling for the first down. Brad Baxter ran well last week against New England. 12 carries, 68 yards, couple of touchdowns. The normal secondary for the Dolphins, Tim McKyer, the one-time San Francisco 49er, came up big last week with 2 interceptions against the Steelers. Jarvis Williams, Lewis Oliver, outstanding safety men. On the right corner, J.B. Brown has played well.
This Miami defense, we saw them last week against Pittsburgh, and they will come up and hit.
It is a first down at the 24-yard line. And on a reverse, Rob Moore was stopped behind the line by David Grigg.
The New York Jets ran a reverse, and Griggs, number 92, the linebacker, right at the bottom of your screen. Now watch him, he's at the right. The tight end does not block it. He just breaks the block away. And even O'Brien's trying to get in to get a piece of the break, but it doesn't help. He makes the play, and there's a loss. The one thing about reverses, either look very pretty and gain an awful lot of yardage, or when they break down, you end up losing anywhere from 8 to 10 yards on them.
And the Jets lost 8 on that one. A 2nd and 18. Here's the moving pocket that has been used so well by O'Brien. And he completes, has the first down with Terrence Mathis. Bruce Kozla telling us last night that they have put in more plays to have O'Brien utilize the moving pocket, and it certainly has protected O'Brien from taking the pounding that he took a year ago.
Well, when he moves out into that pocket, what happens is it almost freezes the linebackers. When you see the linebackers are playing up short, you had Odom and Offerdahl were short, and then just the receiver sneaks in behind, and that was Terrence Mathis. There's a big opening in there.
Picked up 22 on the play, and a first down for the Jets from their 36. Here's Thomas finding the opening. Running hard, gets up to the 44-yard line. Blair Thomas, Jets' top draft pick, 2nd pick overall out of Penn State. Still bothered by a sore hamstring, although it did not appear that he was bothered much last week in picking up 100 yards against the Patriots. Went for 8 on that carry. 3 minutes gone by in the first quarter. The Jets and the Dolphins. No score from Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. 2nd down play and about 3. And another first down. The tight end Mark Boyer on the reception. Stopped by Odom and Offerdahl.
What an interesting pass formation, because they use 2 tight ends, they being the Jets, with Boyer and Dressel, and what they do is they'll send 2 people out in almost in one area. And there's the pass completion to Boyer. He just goes down. They run off Blair Thomas, and they just set in there with the tight end.
And now Rob Moore split out to the left side for this first down at the Miami 48-yard line. Off the delay, Thomas. Thomas right at the marker.
You know, when you just sit there and you watch Blair Thomas, you talk about a disciplined ball player, because that play was not designed to run there. And Blair Thomas just waited till he saw the opening. And once he sees the opening, then he heads upfield. They picked up almost 10 yards. It looks like they're going to measure it, but just take a look. Now, here's Blair Thomas. He's just waiting for the hole to open up. And once that hole is there, and that's Brett Miller, number 72, as the tackle that makes the hole, he just goes straight upfield and he picks up the first down.
Paul, you notice the Jets again in those new road uniforms featuring the green pants? I should say the green jerseys and the white pants. They have made a change.
Well, we saw him in green pants and white jerseys the first time we saw him on the road.
There's Dressel in motion. And Brad Baxter continuing this good Jet drive. Stopped by the outside linebacker Hugh Green.
That play is designed by the fullback, John Offerdahl, number 56, the All-Pro. Now watch him slide down the line of scrimmage, and he's just trying to pick up Baxter. He does slide, comes right back in, and makes the play. Of course, the problem is the play picked up 8 yards. The Jets on first down picking up 6, 7, 8 yards. Every time they run the ball on first or pass the ball on first down, it sets up their whole offense.
And the handoff to McNeil, picking his way, looking for the first down. Freeman McNeil bothered by a sore hamstring and a bruised knee. Coming off an injury-hit, troubled year, but he has opened up strong, and the Jets have been rotating between McNeil and Thomas and have done it successfully. Another first down collected, and the Jets have owned the football the first 5.5 minutes.
You know, when you're talking about Freeman McNeil, both guys that we talked to, Blair Thomas and also Brad Baxter, they credit everything to Freeman McNeil. He's the guy that's helped these guys.
Thomas says that Freeman is like the old philosopher. And that time, Baxter was stopped by Hugh Green.
Well, you were just talking about Freeman McNeil and how good he's running and how good he's doing. Well, that time he didn't block anybody. Take a look right here on the left of your screen. He's going to go out to hit Hugh Green. Hugh Green goes right inside of Freeman McNeil and stuffs Baxter.
Sets it back to a 2nd down and 13. Ball at the Miami 30-yard line. No score with 6 and change gone by in this opening quarter. Again to the ground, and Blair Thomas accelerates.
Blair Thomas accelerates, and when he was spinning, he ran into his own man, Brett Miller. The tackle And he's the man that actually knocked him down. Watch to the right of your screen. You're going to see Blair Thomas. He goes in. Now, 72 is there. Watch when he spins. Here's the man, and he hits his own man.
It's a 2nd and 6 at the Miami. And make it a 3rd down and 6 at the Miami 23. And O'Brien swings it out. Nice reception by Thomas. And he stumbles for the 1st down.
Marv, there was no defensive man on Blair Thomas. 2 defensive men went with Rob Moore. Look on the right. You'll see Rob Moore will come into your picture. There's 2 defensive men there. But look at Blair Thomas. There's absolutely no one out on the outside. And he picks up the 1st down.
Well, we talked right at the start about the fact that both these teams have changed their philosophy. They have gone more to ball control, which certainly helps the defensive unit. Both defensive coordinators are candid about that. Here's Thomas finding the hole on the left side, getting inside the 10-yard line. A very crisp-looking drive here by the Jets. The strong safety, Jarvis Williams, up to make the stop.
And you're looking at a defensive team that's 2nd in the National Football League, the Miami Dolphins, and the Jets on 1st down got to be averaging better than 5 yards per carry and 8 yards to throw.
And O'Brien now looking at a 2nd and 5 down at the 7. 85 more in motion. Brandon McNeil stopped at the line. Alfred Oglesby making the stop. Oglesby, a rookie from the University of Houston, also getting help from the outside linebacker David Griggs. Oglesby in the starting slot at nose tackle, although Brian Soche returned from the reserve non-football illness list, suspended back in August for violating the NFL policy on anabolic steroids. He was dressed last week but did not play at all. He is available today. They're calling it a 3rd down and 6. O'Brien had the time. Incomplete. Terrence Mathis, the intended receiver. A long drive by the Jets. With only 6:19 remaining in this 1st quarter, Miami has yet to touch the football. And this long drive will result in a field goal attempt.
Brian is upset with himself because he had Terrence Mathis wide open in the end zone, and he's talking. He said, I just threw the ball too high.
This is a 25-yard attempt. The angle to the left for Pat Leahy, who's 6 for 7 on the season. So the Jets get 3 out of it. A 25-yard field goal by Leahy. It's the Jets 3 and the Dolphins nothing. The kickoff by Leahy, handled by Mark Higgs. Higgs breaking a couple of tackles. Nice return out near the 30-yard line. Chris Burkett on the stop. He went 27 yards. And the Dolphins will go to the offense for the 1st time.
R13 or higher to keep you warm indoors and get a free NFL coach's sweater to keep you warm outdoors. Offer ends October 14th.
Jet head coach Bruce Coslett made it clear to us last night that he is attempting to keep Dan Marino off the field as long as he can, and that is a very good start. 16 plays, 78 yards, although they were not able to get the 6. They had to go for the field goal.
Almost a replay of last week's game with Miami against Pittsburgh. They had to go over 9.5 minutes, but they put a touchdown on the board.
Miami 1st down from their 29. Tony Page and Sammy Smith are the running backs. And it is to the ground. This is Smith with a big hole. Kyle Clifton on the stop. Smith just short of the 1st down. Let's go to Bob Costas for an update.
Marv, Seattle's Derek Fenner, who didn't have a touchdown the first 2 weeks, now has 7 in the last 3 games. Here he is off the pitch on the sweep, goes in from 5 yards out. However, Norm Johnson, whose job is hanging by a thread, missed the point after. So at Foxborough, it's Seahawks 6, Pat Zip.
Thank you. you, Bob. Here, the Jets with a 3-0 lead on Miami on the 25-yard field goal by Pat Leahy. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire from sunny Miami. 2nd down and 1. Miami from its 38-yard line. And Smith battling for the 1st down. Scott Mercero had the wraps on him. Paul indicating that he picked it up using the naked eye, trusting his instincts, and the man is right.
I can see things far away. I just can't see anything up close. But Sammy Smith, continuous movement, and picked up the 1st down.
Looking at that Dolphin offensive line, the one change, Roy Foster for the injured rookie Keith Sims. Smith and Page, the running backs. Clayton, Duper, and Edmonds are the receivers. 1st down from the 40-yard line. Page signaling Smith. Looks to be some confusion. Yes, I think. Short set, and Marino is able to complete. Penalty markers down as Mark Clayton made the catch. Did pick up the 1st down. 13 yards on the play.
You know, you said there's some confusion. You're absolutely right. The funny part about it is Page told Sammy Smith to go to his right. Marino looked over there and said, no, get on the other side. Page was just trying to help out, but he helped out wrong. This has got to be pass interference. Defense. There's a whole lot of flags.
Referee today is Gene Barth. We were talking last night with the Jets defensive coordinator, Pete Carroll. And he said he actually prefers to see the Miami balanced attack. He'd rather see the Dolphins mix in the run rather than face Marino airing it out.
You know, I really don't understand it. There's Pete Carroll. We're talking to him last night, and you looked at me, and I looked at you, and I thought, well, you know, Pete, he said, when we know Marino's going to throw the ball, that's fine with us. He says, in this mixed attack, Gene Barth, but he was saying, he said, you know, I just think that we'll get back to that in a minute, but here's Stallworth, and he's the man that's holding. He's got Clayton right now, and he's holding the ball away. And look where that pass is thrown, right to the inside. Perfect play, and Clayton almost gets away.
Apologize for the audio problems down on the field. Hope to have it straightened out a little bit later on. 1st down at midfield for Miami. Off the pitch, Smith. Well, Sammy Smith picked up 48 yards in the 1st half last week against Pittsburgh. Very instrumental in the Dolphins' success, and then sat out the 2nd half because of a sore hamstring. Well, the Dolphins, when they go to the passing situation, bring on Fred Banks, who's bothered by an ankle, along with one-time Jet Tony Martin and Jim Jensen. No Crash will be in there when it's a 3rd down situation. 2nd down and 6 now at the 45. 3:40 left in this opening quarter. Here's a reverse, and it's Martin. Tony Martin has the 1st down. Well, that reverse worked. Joe Mott running Martin out of bounds.
You know, Ron Stallworth, you know, you feel sorry for a defensive end in a situation like that because you're going speed against the big man, and here comes Martin. Watch Stallworth here. There's no way that he can catch him. And then the hit is put on by Mott, but it's a 1st down.
Well, last week, Don Shula with a couple of plays out of the book of chicanery, and they both worked the fake punt with Jensen connecting with the tight end Edmonds, and he also had a successful reverse. Jets 3, Dolphins nothing as we wind down in the 1st quarter. A big hole again for Smith, and a penalty marker is thrown. Free safety Eric McMillan up to make the hit.
There's going to be a holding penalty. I think it's going to be on Richard Webb, number 78. But that hole was to the outside. Smith got an excellent block and actually screened out 2 people, and Tony Page ran with the ball.
Well, the Jets defensively with Stallworth, Mercero, Bird, Lageman. We may see quite a bit of shifting with Lageman today. A very quick front 7. Linebackers have played well. Clifton in the middle, Mott and Kelly on the outside. And when they are facing a passing down, Michael Mays, Travis Curtis check in. And the normal Jet secondary with the rookie Stargell along with Hasty, who has played extremely well, Washington and McMillan.
I said on that holding it was Stallworth, and that's kind of tough for that defensive end against Clayton. It wasn't Stallworth. It was Sargent.
So a 1st and 20 at the 47. Troy Stratford has checked in. Another penalty marker is down, and the play is whistled dead. And let's see how we are at reading lips again.
Well, this will be against the offense because the play, I would imagine, ball start. You know, here's the team, the Miami Dolphins. I was going to say that neither one of the defenses have showed up so far today. But, you know, you're going down, you get a holding penalty, you're moving the ball. That would have been a first down on a running play. They get a hold by Webb. Now, here's the movement by Webb again. That's 2 penalties in a row against him for a total of 15.
And it sets it back to a 1st and 25 at the 48. Richmond Webb, #1 draft pick, big rookie out of Texas A&M, who's played well. It is Stratford in the backfield with Page. Marino with a short pickup. Hasty making the stop on Troy Stratford.
The one thing about Marino, I mean, the experience that he has. Now, you looked at that play. That play picked up about 7 or 8 yards, and he is very, very patient. If his #1 target, which is going to be near the first down marker, is shut down, he will not hesitate to dump it to either any of his backs, and even with the fullback, Tony Page, who has great hands. And when the last time you've seen the fullback lead the Miami Dolphins in receiving?
It is a 2nd and 20 at the 47. And again, the inside handoff. Good hole for Stratford, but still short of the first down. The strong safety, Brian Washington, made the stop.
Tony Page absolutely buried Kyle Clifton. He went up through the hole and just watch this. 59 is Clifton. Here comes Page, 49. Watch this. Bam! I mean, he puts him down and gets on top of him.
3rd and 10.
That's a great block. And it led to the 12-yard pickup. What was John Sandusky, the offensive line coach, telling us that Page is a thud blocker. Not exactly a finesse blocker.
That was a thud.
And Marino fires one, overthrowing Mark Duper. And the punting unit will check in Reggie Roby, who has had his difficulties the last couple of weeks, but the former outstanding punter, Paul McGuire, in a chat prior to the game, I know, straightened Reggie out.
I got him straightened out. And here's Booty trying to cover Duper, actually puts his hand on him and grabs him. But this ball was overthrown. There was no chance for Duper to get there.
What's his problem?
I told him if he doesn't straighten up, he's not going to be here much longer.
Yes, took a low snap and puts one in the end zone. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. And you can hear the crowd reacting. It's a 37-yard punt, but the net is not much because they bring it out on the touchback. A quick-moving first quarter, half-minute to go, and the Jets off a 25-yard field goal by Pat Lee lead the Miami Dolphins 3-0. That Jet opening drive consuming 8 minutes, 44 seconds. Jets first down at the 20. O'Brien with the time. Sideline pattern. Pass intended for Al Toon. Toon back in action. Sat out most of last week because of a bruised back. Lewis Oliver, the free safety, good friend of Ken O'Brien, covering on the play.
Yeah, they are good friends, aren't they?
Recall that situation last year, second quarter of Miami's victory over the Jets at Giant Stadium. O'Brien headed for the end zone. 2nd and goal from the 3. Appeared to be in easily, but when he spotted Oliver coming his way, O'Brien seemed to hesitate and brace himself for the hit. And Oliver stopped O'Brien just short of the goal line. Blair Thomas stopped, fumbled. And the Jets have recovered. On that play, the Jets eventually settled for a field goal, but it was a key play of the game and became symbolic of the 4-12 Jet season.
Well, you take a look at this play here. Blair Thomas, when he goes up inside. Now, the ball comes out. The only guy that really sees it is O'Brien. Watch O'Brien. He comes in and gets it.
Pretty aggressive move by Ken O'Brien to recover. It is a beautiful 85-degree day here in Miami. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire from Joe Robbie Stadium. Paul enjoying the sun out at the pool yesterday, holding court. You look good too, Paul. You've been on an intensive weight loss program now. I know you've been watching up to 6 exercise shows per day. Terrence Mathis picking up the first down. As we get underway, second quarter, Rodney Thomas on the coverage.
Rodney Thomas got knocked off by his own man in a switch by the defensive backs, and that's why Mathis was open. Number 24 is Rodney Thomas, and he gets there late, but he gets picked off right under the left of your screen, and that's why he was late getting out there. It isn't he blew the coverage, he just couldn't get to it.
Second catch by Mathis. It went for 13 yards. That is Baxter in motion. And here's Blair Thomas across the 35-yard line. Cliff Odom, the inside linebacker, making the stop. Odom starting in place of another veteran, the injured Barry Krause, who played well last year. Odom, a plan B pickup from Indianapolis. Look at the 10-minute ticker. Kansas City jumping out early. Houston with a 14-0 lead on San Francisco. 49ers have won the last 12 on the road. And Dallas over surprising Tampa Bay 7-0 in the first. Seattle 13-3 over New England. And Detroit and Minnesota tied it at 3. Here the Jets with a 3-0 lead on the Dolphins. Play action and a beautiful fake, giving O'Brien much time. It's Moore in the open field for a terrific catch. Lewis Oliver on the coverage. It's a 52-yard pass play.
And Moore is slow getting up. That was just a great catch. He did have a sore shoulder, didn't he, Mark? A couple of weeks ago we saw it, but O'Brien, he's trying to go over to his left. Watch, he'll look over here to see if Toon is open. Here comes Toon across. He looks, he knows that Toon now is covered. So he goes back and he sees Rob Moore. Lewis Oliver, number 25, is trying to stay with him. But watch this catch. But concentration, that's it.
Direction of 43-yard pass reception for the rookie from Syracuse, Rob Moore. Here's McNeil. Short pickup for Freeman McNeil. Rob Moore last week at New England destroyed the veteran quarterback Ron Lepet. 9 catches, 175 yards.
Pittsburgh, no touchdown.
The perils of Pittsburgh continuing.
Oh, boy.
It is a 2nd and 7 at the 18. 2.5 gone by in the second quarter. Jets 3, the Dolphins nothing. Again, the play action. And O'Brien in trouble. And Al Toon with the catch and the first down.
This play was a rollout to O'Brien's right. He was going to throw the ball back to number 30, Brad Baxter, but Hugh Green was right there covering it. Now O'Brien, watch this, he'll roll out to his right. Baxter, number 30, is sitting here waiting. Watch O'Brien look back. He knows that Hugh Green is there. He can't go there with the ball, so he does the smart thing. He goes downfield.
First and goal inside the 10, so Toon has now caught a pass in 67 consecutive games. O'Brien intended for Toon. Al Toon, a man who has had big numbers over the years against Miami. 9 games, 62 catches against the Dolphins.
I don't understand that pass play. I really don't. It's only like a 3-yard route. J.B. Brown was all over Toon, and the play isn't going to really gain anything for you. You're better off running the ball down there.
It is a 2nd and goal from the 9. O'Brien again with the time. Touchdown. Rob Moore was wide open, beating Tim McKyer.
Rob Moore just ran a super route. What he did, he ran a curl in. He ran down in the end zone and curled in. And then Tim McKyer, they converged on him, number 22, and then Moore just broke it back out to the outside, and O'Brien with the perfect pass right on target. Oh, now O'Brien is looking at him all the way. O'Brien goes back, just checks off to the left right away, and he goes back. Now he's looking for Moore, and when Moore breaks away, look, there's Tim McKyer there, but he had no chance.
Eason puts it down, and Leahy with the extra point. Excellent drive by the Jets. Strong play by the offensive line once again. And the Jets week following the long day that Patriot corner Ronnie Lepet had against Rob Moore. He had some very kind words. Lepet was so upset that in the shadows of the stadium at Foxborough, he was walking the field in the dark several hours just to try and forget about what took place against him last week.
The only thing I would change about that statement, Marv, instead of AFC, I'd put NFL in there. Because this guy is, I mean, he just runs great routes and he's got super hands.
9 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes for the touchdown. Here's Logan on the return, running hard. Good return by Mark Logan, 26 yards for Logan. He's a 4th-year player out of Kentucky. Last year, he was leading the NFL in kickoff returns until a knee injury sidelined him. Ended up finishing 3rd in that department. Carl Howard made the stop, and Miami to the offense. First down from the 36.
You know, Logan's the kind of kickoff man that you want. You know, once he sees the hole, it's full speed. He doesn't do any juking and ducking and trying to pick up yardage by running sideways. He just goes straight ahead.
Dan Marino, the quarterback. Sammy Smith, Tony Page, the running backs. Marino off the roll. Incomplete. Intended for Smith, who was immediately hit by Mott. And you may have noticed Jeff Lageman all over Dan Marino.
And Marino rolling out, not staying in the pocket.
Jeff Lageman has played well, making the switch in the Jets' new 4-3 this season, making the move from outside linebacker. He was actually an inside linebacker in college at Virginia.
I just really, when we did him a few weeks ago, I enjoyed talking to him. Of course, he didn't understand anything I said, but I understand most of what he said.
I was going to point that out. That is a perfect mix, incidentally. Lageman and McGuire. 2nd down and 10. And this is Logan, and he is stopped in his tracks by McMillan. The free safety, Eric McMillan, making the tackle. Now the 3rd down alignment, Jim Jensen will come on along with Tony Martin. It is a 3rd and 10 at the 36. Sweltering day here in Miami.
Nice view through a fan, isn't it? I like that. To that effect of looking through Venetian blinds.
So Dan Marino opening slowly. 10.5 to go in this first half. Marino facing the pressure, ran out of the pocket, but could not find anyone, and it is broken out. Good coverage. Andre Brown, the intended receiver, and Travis Curtis among several Jets on the scene.
Marino went up to him and told Brown, he said, look, you come back to me. When you see me running, come back to me. Marino got about as close as he was going to get to the line of scrimmage. He knew where he was as far as he had to go. But he just talked to Brown. He said, look, if you see me running, get back here.
So Roby is in to punt from his 21, and JoJo Townsell is back.
Roby sporting that beautiful watch. I like that. That's a good effect.
Is he timing his punts?
Not that one.
It's a line drive. Here's Townsell. And took the pop across the 30, a 44-yard punt and a 10-yard return. Clifford Hobley made the stop. So the Jets back to the first ever trip for the Cincinnati Bengals, facing the Rams in Anaheim. That's coming up next. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Dick Enberg and Bill Walsh will be on hand to bring it to you. Cincinnati hoping to bounce back from the performance on Monday night. LA Rams had a bye last week.
And Cincinnati should have.
First down from their 30, I should say Jets first down from their 31 with McNeil and Hector in the backfield. Off the swing, it's Hector. Oh, he's breaking tackles. A gorgeous run by Johnny Hector to collect the first down. He went for 11.
Cliff Odom, number 93, the outside linebacker, almost made a great play. Coming off of 2 blockers, but then he misses the tackle. Go to the outside, and when his play is here, here's Odom. Watch this. He gets through the blockers. Now he comes back in, and Hector just makes a move on him. That's a great run. That's another first down play, over 10 yards.
Jets First down at the 42. And it's Hector again. With a 10-0 lead, a 25-yard field goal by Leahy. And then O'Brien connecting with Moore on a 9-yard touchdown pass to conclude another good Jet drive for Ken O'Brien, his 100th career touchdown pass. Well, Houston still in front of San Francisco in the second quarter. Dallas now 7-3 on Tampa. Seattle with the lead over New England. Minnesota jumping to a 6-3 lead on Detroit. And Pittsburgh has scored, but we don't know if it's an offensive touchdown. Blair Thomas. Cut back the other way, and finally the Dolphins get him down.
Jarvis Williams, number 26, is absolutely talking to himself because he missed Blair Thomas twice. Made a super play. Offerdahl's the man that forced Thomas to turn back, along with Jarvis Williams. But he misses him right at the corner. Then he came back, and he'll miss him again. To the right of your screen. He's way out on the outside. There's Jarvis Williams. He goes up, he'll miss. And he goes back, and he misses again.
He lost 5 on it. It's a 3rd down and 9 at the 43. Not reacting to the defensive effort. A big hole, and Blair Thomas has the 1st down. And we just received word called congratulations to Joe Walton, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have scored an offensive touchdown. Bubby Brister on an 8-yard touchdown pass to the rookie tight end Eric Green to give the Steelers a 10-7 lead on the San Diego Chargers early in the second quarter.
That's terrific. That really is. It took them 5 games.
Well, the last
quarter of the 5th game.
Last time they scored was back in the playoffs.
Let's talk about this Jet offensive line and the job that they're doing on Miami. They have controlled the line of scrimmage.
First down at the 43. McNeil slashing his way for another 1st down. The Jets are just shredding through the Dolphins. Hugh Green on the stop.
Well, take a look at the offensive line pull. Got Hayden and Criswell coming out. Look at the hole. The blocking is there. T.J. Turner, number 95, got a hand on it, but that was about all you could get. I mean, this offensive line, you know, you talked about rebuilding it from a year ago, Marv, and they've really put it together.
They've called for the yardsticks. Well, I thought he picked it up. He's just short of the 1st down. There's a later report on Miami wide receiver Mark Clayton, who departed a couple of series back. He is doubtful to return because he re-aggravated his ankle injury. So bad news for the Miami Dolphins. 2nd down, less than a yard. Outstanding play by Jeff Criswell, Brett Miller at the tackles, Mike Haight, Dave Cadigan at the guards, and Jim Sweeney at center. 6:50 to go in this first half from Joe Robbie in Miami. Baxter tried to turn the corner, could not. They strung him out, so Brad Baxter could not get the yardage for the 1st down. Tim McKyer, one of several Dolphins to make the stop.
The most important thing this offense for the Jets, what they're doing is keeping the ball out of Marino's hands. You know, that's the best defense in the world is a great offense that can control the football.
Chris Coslett telling us that the Jets just cannot go 3 and out against Miami. That would give Marino too much time to operate, and they have been able to hold the ball. 3rd down and a yard. A jump pass for the 1st down. Freeman McNeil stepped down.
On that last play, the Miami Dolphins went with an all-out blitz, thinking it's going to be a running game, and they blitz everyone, and Freeman McNeil just comes out of the backfield, and watch, there's nobody there. No one to pick him up. Griggs, the linebacker, 92, jumped in the air. Now, I don't know if that's supposed to be his man or not. But when you have a blitz like that, there's got to be either a linebacker picking up a back coming out of the backfield or a safety man.
It's another pickup of 9 for Ken O'Brien and the Jets. O'Brien is now 9 for 12, 128 yards and a touchdown. Nice fake by O'Brien, and McNeil gets to the 21-yard line. Freeman McNeil, the New York Jets all-time leading rusher, 1,000-yard man on a couple of occasions, and being shuffled well with Blair Thomas and Johnny Hector.
This is keeping Marino off the field. You know, they've had the ball 17:35, and it's still counting. You know, 6 minutes. We saw that last week against Pittsburgh. Miami controlled the football. Pittsburgh, if you don't have the ball, you can't score. Yeah, you can on defense, but they're not playing defense well enough to score with it.
Jets have a 2nd and 5. McNeil close to the first down marker.
I'll tell this one over here. This guy over
There is the new head coach. Bruce Coslett played tight end for Cincinnati from 69 through 76. For the most part, he was Bob Trumpy's backup. You remember Bob, the golf and boxing announcer for NBC?
Yeah, vaguely. Guy called me Trumpy last week.
Yeah. It's a 3rd down and 1 at the 16. 84 Dressel in motion. And the first down picked up by Hector.
There's just absolutely no penetration by the defensive line of Miami. Take a look at right in the middle. Sweeney, Haight, Cadigan. I mean, when you're looking at a man trying to make a tackle, Jeff Cross, 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage on a 3rd and 1 situation, there's no way to get it done.
That's the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, Tom Olivadotti. Spent 4 years as defensive coach at the University of Miami, including their national championship team in '83. Thomas, and he smothered at the 10-yard line. Jarvis Williams, the strong safety, made the stop. Tom Olivadotti pointing out to us very honestly, saying that, hey, we're not a blitzing team. Dolphins just are not a good blitzing club. They have to do other things to counter defensively. He also said that, yes, it's nice to have the good record defensively, but he was honest enough to admit the fact that the Dolphin defense has not been on the field that much, at least up until today.
And that's true. And take a look at the Jets defense. They'll move into number 1 because they haven't been on the field at all.
It's a 2nd down and 8. And O'Brien with the time, lofting one, and again intended for more, covered by the right corner, J.B. Brown.
J.B. Brown on Rob Moore, and it's not a mismatch, folks, because J.B. Brown is a pretty good cornerback. And watch this. They come out. There's contact there. J.B. Brown is in a perfect position. The only problem is when that ball's thrown around like that, the acrobatics of Rob Moore, I mean, a lot of times he'll come up with it. We saw that long catch he made at the beginning of the 2nd quarter.
3rd down and 8. 2:41 remaining. First half. Jets 10, Dolphins nothing. Inside handoff. The Dolphins appear to be fooled on that one as Blair Thomas off the play fake ripped for 6 more.
That's the 2nd time they've done this on 3rd down in a long yardage situation. The Jets, watch this. They're playing pass coverage. They got their pass defense in the Miami Dolphins, but the blocking up front is just terrific, and the missed tackling up front. That was Carl Wilson, number 77, that missed the tackle. The Jets are going to settle for a field goal.
It is a 4th and about a yard. So Leahy will come on to attempt a 20-yard field goal. Hit from 25 in the 1st quarter. He is 7 for 8 on the season. And a timeout being called with 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Enjoyed what he has seen here in the first half. The Jets have had the ball for 21 minutes. Miami under 7 minutes.
Well, the thing about it is, when you look at time of possession, the only time that thing is really important is what you do with your time of possession. Now, the Jets are going to probably come away with a field goal, which gives them 13 points in that time. Could be more, but when you're shutting out the other team. On the other hand, when you take a look at Miami with only 6 minutes with the ball and the explosiveness of their offense, especially with Marino and Page and Smith and Duper. Of course, Clayton is out and probably won't be back.
A 20-yard attempt, angle to the right. Eason will hold. Leahy earlier hit from 25. So Pat Leahy extends the Jet lead. It's the Jets 13, the Dolphins nothing.
With free Selsun Blue. Because for the first time ever, when you buy 1 7-ounce bottle of any formula Selsun Blue, you get one free. Doctor recommended Selsun Blue. Blue is better, and for a limited time, Blue is free.
Barcelona, Spain, home to the world for the 1992 Summer Olympic Games. Next Saturday, the Queen of the Mediterranean will host a tournament of international appeal as Patrick Ewing and the New York Knicks represent the United States against the best Europe has to offer. The McDonald's Open live next Saturday on NBC.
Mark Logan handling the kickoff from Pat Leahy and staying right there. They'll bring it out to the 20. The Jets went 14 plays, 71 yards, consuming 8 minutes and 16 seconds, resulting in the field goal. Let's get back to Bob Costas for this update.
Marv, the drought is over for the Steelers. This is their first offensive touchdown of the year. Bubby Brister to Eric Green. It covers 8 yards. They hadn't scored on offense since 9 months ago, since the second quarter of the divisional playoff game last January in Denver. Then 8 minutes later, Brister threw to Green again, so the floodgates are open. Pittsburgh 17, San Diego 7.
All right, Bob, Miami first down from their 20, a minute and 57 remaining. First half, and the Jets lead the Dolphins 13-0. Marino with the dump off. Jim Jensen out to the first down marker. Kyle Clifton made the stop. He picked up 12. It's been a very quiet half for Dan Marino as the Dolphins go to the no huddle. And Marino with a bullet for Jensen took a pop out of the 34. Free safety Eric McMillan on the coverage.
I just was watching the last two play. Loggeman, number 56. They're moving them all over the place now.
Timeout has been taken. We'll be right back. It's been an impressive first half for the New York Jets. Ken O'Brien with a 9-yard touchdown pass to the rookie Rob Moore. 2 Pat Leahy field goals. The Jets have owned the football in the first half. Miami using a timeout just a moment ago. 1:29 left in the half, and the Dolphins second down 6 from their 35.
And the Jets offensive line, they've owned Miami's defensive line.
Marino able to complete to Brown. Andre Brown was sandwiched, but a long gainer out near the Jet 40-yard line. He picked up 23. James Hasty on the stop. Again, Marino with the no huddle has a first down. Goes sideline and has another. No, he was out of bounds. Stargell on the coverage of Martin, and it is ruled incomplete, out of bounds.
Martin did the smart thing. He came back to Marino, but as he was coming back to Marino, number 89, you see him at the right-hand side of your screen. Watch what he does. He sees Marino in trouble. When he comes back, he's got to know where the sideline is. The ball is catchable inbounds, but he stepped out of bounds.
Tony Martin, originally a 5th-round draft pick of the Jets, drafted as a quarterback. He spent most of last year on the developmental squad in his second season out of Mesa College in Colorado. Marino only 4 for 8, 44 yards, 2nd and 10 at the Jet 41. Short setup and another completion, but not much.
Marino just looked the wrong way. If he looked to the right, he had Jensen wide open. Somebody blew the coverage.
Fred Banks made the catch. Timeout taken with 51 seconds to go.
A full line of award-winning automobiles. See them all at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer. By Siemens, leading-edge technology that gives you an edge. By Norelco Lift and Cut Shavers for a new level of closeness and comfort. And by cold-filtered Keystone and Keystone Light. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
Welcome back to Miami. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire. The Jets lead the Dolphins 13-0, 51 seconds left in this first half. Miami 3rd down and 8 at the Jet 39.
And when you're in a prevent defense, the place you want to throw the football is over the middle. The middle will be open.
And Marino throws the middle, deflected. Kyle Clifton, who had 2 interceptions last week against New England, got a hand on it. In fact, his first interception since back in 1986.
But the middle is open early when you throw. You look right behind Marino. Now look at the middle. The middle of the field right there is open. Clifton's the only one there. But when you take that much time, it gives the linebacker time to get some depth. And when they get that much depth, all they got to do is get their hand up and they knock the ball down. They're going for it on 4th down.
It is a 4th down and 8.
That's a good average, isn't it? 4 for 4.
Movement on the line, and Marino fires through the hands of Fred Banks. Scott Mercer all over Dan Marino. 40 seconds to go in the half. And it's against the Jets.
Against Lagerman, he was offside, number 56. I can read lips.
Very nice.
I got that. Just gives him 4th down all over again.
It sets a 4th and 3 at the 34. Now Duper is to the left. Martin is flanked to the right. Jensen in the backfield. And Martin has the 1st down and some more. Tony Stargell, the left corner, made the stop. Clock is running. It's a 12-yard advance, down to 25 seconds to go in the half, and Marino stops the clock. He does have 1 timeout remaining.
Does he get the ball there in a hurry? He really does. You know, when we talked to Pete Carroll about it, he said that's the one thing about him. If he has time and there's a crack in there, he's going to be able to get the ball in. He's one of the few quarterbacks that really has enough stuff on the ball to stick it between 2 defenders.
No question, quickest release in the league. For those of you who missed NFL Live earlier, a lot of hot issues developing. Zeke Moat, a guest. Patriot tight end said they lie detector test about his involvement in the locker room incident show. That he was truthful. Get back to this in just a moment. It's a 2nd down and 10 at the 23-yard line. And Jensen coughed it up. We'll have to see if they did call it a completion. It appears to be. And since the ball was knocked out of bounds off the fumble, Miami retains possession. So apparently they are saying that it was completed and fumbled, and Miami holds onto the football.
And McMillan makes a mistake. Eric McMillan, number 22. What he does is try to pick up the ball. The guy that really hustles here is Roy Foster. Watch number 61 in the white come in the screen. He knows he can't get to the ball, so he's trying to knock people off. As he does, he knocks one Jet defender into McMillan, who can't pick up the football. That's great hustle by Foster.
It is a 3rd and 11. Miami maintaining possession. They're at the Jet 24. 12 seconds remaining in the half.
Miami's complaining about is the 2nd clock's down to 3 seconds.
Yes, the play clock is set at 3, and Gene Barth appears to be correcting the error.
It's tough when you're yelling in this crowd and you don't have a microphone in it.
Yeah. I suggested to Crack Stat they get him a megaphone. I know the NFL would appreciate that.
Incomplete. We spot the ball on the 23-yard line.
After replay now, the pass was incomplete.
Catch and a fumble.
Oh, they're saying incomplete now.
Yeah. So now you get the whole complement of time, 25 seconds.
So scratch the fumble. They say that it was not a completed pass. In either event, Miami maintains possession. And a 3rd down play coming up, and they've also reset 25 seconds on the play clock, 19 seconds to go on the game clock. Marino out of the shotgun. And completes for the 1st down. Duper on a 12-yard hookup. 15 seconds remaining now in the half. It's been a brilliant drive being orchestrated by Dan Marino.
They don't want to give up the touchdown to Duper, but they do give up the pass play. John Booty, number 20 or 42, was there, but he was so far off. And Marino still has time for at least 2 plays.
Duper is to the left and Martin right. Marino getting the time with a bullet. Incomplete. Booty on the coverage. Pass intended for Fred Banks. There's John Booty, 3-year man out of Texas Christian. 8 seconds remaining in this first half. Getting back to NFL Live prior to the start of our game, Lisa Olson, the sports writer for the Boston Herald, said that she has received death threats and will leave the country temporarily. And Will McDonough pointing out with Bo Jackson's return to the Raiders, Marcus Allen may be headed elsewhere. That has been speculated for some time. Bob, Will, and O.J. coming up at halftime. That'll have all the scores and the highlights to bring you up to date. You saw the movement there. It's a free play. Marino completes out of the 1. Duper hit by Booty. Loggeman jumping. 3 seconds to go in the half. And let's see what the call is by Gene Barnes.
Again, we talked about moving the ball around and moving Loggeman around, and Loggeman that time now. What you do down here is just get in behind Tony Page and go right on in for the touchdown. But Loggeman was moving around. He ended up in the center, and he jumped off sides. And Marino had a free play, and the Jets kind of just sat back.
Well, the offside is declined, of course.
61 is reported as being ineligible for Miami.
We hear him, Paul.
We hear him. You're down there. We know you are, Gene. Now, look at Duper. Duper is in the end zone here, and he comes back across. Now, Booty is also there. Makes a super play to stop it. Now, they got to call timeout because, well, they actually really didn't, because there's a flag on the play. The clock would have stopped anyway, and I don't know if they're going to have to take their timeout. But Miami, they've got 1 play to run, and that's it. They used the timeout.
Apparently, the indication is that the Jets now have called for time. So Don Shula will go for it. 3 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, the Jets called a timeout so they didn't get their defensive people in there. They were playing a nickel, and now they don't want to play nickel. They want to get the regular 11 in.
Smith and Page return to the backfield. Touchdown here by Miami could be disheartening for the Jets, who have dominated the Dolphins throughout the first half. On the other hand, a big lift for the Dolphins. Here it is. Final play of the half. And it is Smith.
He didn't make it.
Joe Kelly with the stop on Sammy Smith. So the Dolphins going for the score, and they are stopped.
That was a great defensive play, and Smith tried to go up over top. There goes Shula. He's not too happy about this offense. But just take a look at it right here on the line of scrimmage. Now, Page goes in first. And Smith is trying to jump, but look where he jumped from. He was almost 3 yards out when he left the ground. Marvin, it's almost impossible to get there with somebody smacking him. Look where Smith takes off from. Here's the 5, the 4. Now he's at the 3.
Stadium.
Question, but just take a look at what they're doing. But rushing attempts, and this is the thing. First downs, they've been averaging, they have to be somewhere around 6 or 7 yards on first down, and it opens up your total offense. On the other hand, when you look at Miami, Marv only rushing 7 times, and they want to rush the football because they have Smith there and Page. The problem is they're behind, and Marino's going to have to throw the football. That was a nice drive they had, but they came away with nothing, and boy, does that build up the confidence for the Jets.
Big play at the end of the first half in the final seconds with a combination of Kelly and Loggeman stopping Smith as he drove to the goal line, and we're underway in the second half. Logan off the return after he bobbled it. Penalty markers down. Now outstanding return by Logan. Michael Mays on the hit. Mark Logan, one of the leading kickoff men in the NFL last year, went for 35 yards. And again, we're having audio problems.
Illegal block in the back.
Illegal block in the back, says Gene Barth, and it's on Tony Page. Well, a look at the halftime statistics. Ken O'Brien with a very strong first half as the Jets played ball control successfully.
You know, every drive is a key drive, and when you look at what the Jets did on their first down plays, and those are the ones that really set up your offense. The Jets' offensive line, they have controlled the line of scrimmage. What they have to do now, every series again, is a key series in a ball game. There's none one more important than the other one, but the Miami Dolphins must get on the scoreboard in this drive.
Sammy Smith and the one-time Jet Tony Page are the running backs. The tight end Edmonds in motion. And it is Page coming out of the backfield. Tony Page, a Plan B free agent acquisition from Detroit. Penalty marker is down. One-time Lion, one-time Jet, who has done an excellent job as both the blocking back and pass receiver.
It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and I guess you call it spearing.
Personal foul.
Personal foul.
Spearing. Number
Spearing.
51
Hey,
defense.
Gene.
Will tackle on 15 yards and a first down.
Thank you, Gene. Watch this. Now, when Page goes down to the right of the screen, you're going to see the spearing come in. Not there, but here by Mott. Mott sticks his head right into Page's head, and that's a no-no.
There's Joe Mott, second-year man from Iowa, who has emerged as the starter. Last year's starter, Alex Gordon, has been out with a hamstring. First down at the 30. Logan hit back behind the line. Jeff Lageman right there.
Somebody has to check Lageman from the backside, because Lageman came all the way from the right defensive end spot to catch the play from behind. Left of your screen, here comes Lageman. Page misses him. Tony Page, number 49, misses Lageman, and Lageman stuffs it in the backfield.
Troy Stratford now has checked in. And intended for Stratford. Good rush by the outside linebacker, Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly was right in Marino's face, Marv, and he had nothing more to do with the ball than to throw it into the ground. He actually was throwing the ball away.
Well, it was general manager Dick Steinberg's first major trade with the Jets, with Kelly and tackle Scott Jones, acquired from Cincinnati for the rookie receiver Reggie Rembert, who was a holdout. Jets couldn't sign him. Third down and 10 at the 30. The Jets 13, the Dolphins nothing. We're just getting started in the third quarter. And Marino throwing deep, intended for Banks. Crowd looking for a call, and they get it. Michael Mays covering Fred Banks.
The only problem with this play is this ball is not catchable. There's no way that Banks could catch the football.
And the call is against Mays, a first-year man out of LSU.
Here's the throw downfield. Now just take a look at where Banks is, and can he catch the ball? He's not within 5 yards of the football.
And that cost the Jets 25 yards. Fred Banks did not play at all last week against Pittsburgh because of an ankle injury, but with Mark Clayton going to the sideline here today after aggravating his ankle, Banks seeing service. That's the tight end, Terrell Edmonds, and he has a first down. Tony Stargell made the stop.
Marino runs a bootleg, and he comes out. He hit Edmonds, but they got Banks outside. He's running the defense off. Watch this. Here comes the bootleg, and he comes out all by himself. And when he does, the tight end just checks out. There's no linebacker there. They're all looking back to the inside. The only linebacker was close is Mott, number 51. You see him there, but I don't think that's his man.
Now Duper sets left, Banks right. First down at the 33 in Jet territory. Edmonds in motion. Here's Smith. Smith running well for another Dolphin first first down. Hasty and Mott combined on the stop.
Kyle Clifton, we talked yesterday. I mean, he's keeping an eye on Smith, and he's watching in the backfield. Now watch, he's following Smith. You see him coming. The block is there, but here's Smith. He goes right by Kyle Clifton. He is blocked, and Smith has much more speed.
Went for 11. Sammy Smith, last year as a rookie, showed flashes, but affected by a long holdout, nagging injuries. May have had a little bit too much weight. He said he's cut down with the fast food eating. Here's Smith again. Gets to the 20-yard line. Stallworth and Mercero combining, and a good drive here by the Dolphins.
You know, Mar, I just sit here, and they've been talking about Tony Page, and there's the defensive coordinator, Mr. Carroll. Peter, the guys are doing a great job. This drive, 2 mistakes, 2 penalties, allowed Miami to move the ball. But when you watch Page come out, I'm going to tell you something, he does unload.
Second down, 6. Smith on the reception. A Miami first down. Lageman with the stop on Sammy Smith.
And Sammy Smith is limping. You know, he made a super adjustment on the ball because the ball was actually thrown a little bit behind him, and he made the turn on the ball to make the catch. But I guess when Marino throws it and sticks it in your numbers, you're going to catch it.
Mark Logan has come on, replacing Sammy Smith. First down for the Dolphins at the Jet 11. 4 minutes have gone by. Third quarter. 49 Page peeling off. And it's Logan with a big hole for the touchdown.
Watch the end of this play. Here's Washington 48, Clifton's 59. Here they come. And McMillan is also there. He slips, but he just runs right through the defense.
He went for 11. And now Pete Stoyanovich, one of only 2 kickers in the NFL who have been perfect. The snap was bobbled. This is Seacules looking for a receiver, has Page, but it's broken up. Broken up by Lageman. And that could be very costly. Well, Stoyanovich was perfect in terms of point after attempt.
The sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. By Levi's 505, 506, and 540 jeans. And by Zenith, but quality goes in before the name goes on.
Marv Albert with Paul McGuire back at Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. The Dolphins went 8 plays, 90 yards, consuming 4 minutes and 4 seconds. They scored the touchdown on the 11-yard run by Logan. But the point after was botched, and the Jets now lead it by the score of 13-6. This is Terrence Mathis. Good coverage by the Dolphins, led by Jim Crash Jensen. There's Jeff Lageman, who has been playing with that soft cast because of a broken thumb.
Well, what Lageman does is he just sits back. Now, he knows he can't get the Seacules and chase him across the field, but he finds Tony Page. Watch Lageman. Talk about some hustle. That's beautiful.
The holder, Scott Seacules, is the backup quarterback. In fact, he is a one-time teammate of Lageman at the University of Virginia. First down at the 17. And O'Brien goes short lane. The tight end Boyer is stopped by strong safety Jarvis Williams.
Jarvis Williams makes the tackle.
10.5 to go in this third quarter. A check of the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Kansas City leading Indianapolis. Houston now 14-7 over the 49ers, who've won 12 straight on the road. Dallas leading Tampa Bay. Seattle 19, New England 10 in the third, and Minnesota extending 20-10 Pittsburgh with a 24-7 lead in the third, and New Orleans by 3 at halftime. Back to the ground for Blair Thomas, and this Miami defensive unit has come to life.
This crowd is now into the ball game. They were not into this game in the first half, but on that last play, Hugh Green, even though he did not make the tackle, is the guy that set it up.
That is the defensive coordinator, Tom Olivadati. Before O'Brien hit Moore for that touchdown pass in the second quarter, the Dolphins had not allowed a touchdown pass over 15 consecutive quarters. You have to go back to Mark Wilson of New England on opening day, who was able to throw one. Third down, 5. And O'Brien completes for the first down to Mathis. Terrence Mathis, 6th-round draft pick, rookie from New Mexico, reeled off 18 yards.
Well, O'Brien is just, and he always has a field day down here and in New York against Miami, but he has plenty of time. Now, you look at Cross is there, but he doesn't make the play. And Rodney Thomas, number 24, was a man that was there with Mathis, but he just went down, and O'Brien just, look where he puts the ball. The only place it can be caught, to the outside.
From their 40. Thomas, again, the change of direction, but he lost on the play.
Cliff Odom is the guy that was in the backfield that made the play. In the first half, it just looked like the Miami Dolphins defense might be overrunning some of the plays. Now they're not. There's some of the guys are staying at home where they're supposed to be.
It'll be a 2nd and 12 back at the 38. The Jets 13, the Dolphins 6. 8 minutes left in the third. And O'Brien goes deep, overthrowing Al Toon.
The wind is a factor here, and that time Al Toon on McKyer, I mean, he had him beat. There was no question about it. Toon was wide open down the field, and O'Brien just overthrew him. You see the flags, and the wind is a strong factor in this stadium.
Third down and 12. Try to cut back, could not hold on. And Joe Prokop will come on to punt for the first time today. Had only one punt last week against the Patriots. And the crowd reacts to the defensive play of the Miami Dolphins.
How about the offensive defensive play? Mathis just dropped the ball. The ball was right in his hands. O'Brien is throwing the ball as well as I've ever seen him throw it.
Yes, it's been an outstanding season for Ken O'Brien. Awarded one of the game balls last week. That's a short punt. Tony Martin lets it bounce.
The nose of the ball hit the top of his toe. He never dropped the ball flat.
It goes down as a 31-yard punt. First effort of the day.
This is what I'm talking about. Look at the football here. Look at the nose of the ball. That's right down in here. Watch where this thing hits. It hits right on the top of his toe. When you drop the ball like that, it's really not going to go anywhere.
And it did not. About 31 yards on that punt. Miami first down from their 31. Marino in trouble. Able to get it away. Sideline. Mark Cooper. Touchdown pass of the season, and the Dolphins move within one, but let's see how they handle this point after.
Marino just steps away from an on-rushing Jet, and I mean, he laid that ball out right into Duper's hands.
Ulenake snapping. Seekills the holder. They did not succeed on their last attempt. This time, Stoyanovich puts it through. And the Dolphins have come back from a 13-0 deficit. The game is tied at 13. Only his first touchdown of the season. He has had a couple of off seasons. In fact, only 2 touchdowns the last 2 years, looking to bounce back. And he hooked up with Marino on a 69-yarder. The game is tied at 13. Townsell on the return. Joe Townsell, who averages, Terrence Mathis on that return. Terrence Mathis stopped by Jarvis Williams. Gets it out to the 37-yard line where the Jets take over.
Well, the beginning of this play is where Marino steps away from Gerald Nichols. Watch 77. He just pushes him aside. And then he's got enough presence of mind. You talk about a gun. You know, people in Pittsburgh told us that Mark Duper lost some speed. Watch this. You think he lost any? Watch him go by James Hastings. I mean, he flies by, and that ball is right on target.
And O'Brien throws on first down. Incomplete. Diving attempt by Mathis. Mathis went 33 yards on that kickoff return. He was covered by the strong safety Jarvis Williams. It'll be a 2nd and 10 for the Jets from their 37. 7:05 remaining in the third quarter.
I don't want to bring any bad news to Jet fans, but you got to understand something. In the first 4 games of this season, the New York Jets have only scored 6 points in the 4th quarter total.
We're in the third. In that opener against Cincinnati, the offensive line had difficulties in the 4th quarter. That's the first sack of the day. Alfred Oglesby, the nose tackle, with his 2nd sack of the season.
Oglesby and number 77, Carl Wilson, they met right on the numbers of O'Brien. O'Brien, this is good defense, has no one to throw the ball to. Now watch this. Here they come. Oglesby and Wilson, and also Cliff Odom, number 93. 3 guys were there. You get a third? You get like a third?
Only halves, I believe.
Only halves?
Loss of 9. 3rd and 19. That'll be short of the first down. Mathis has become a primary receiver. That's his 4th catch of the day. Went for 12, but the Jets are forced to punt. And this crowd of close to 70,000 now responding to the play of the Miami defensive unit. Prokop had a 31-yard punt just moments ago. He is back at his 24. One-time Jet, Tony Martin, waits for the punt at his 20. Line drive. And Martin, reaching out to the 25, is hauled down. A 40-yard punt, about a 5-yard return. John Galvin getting downfield to make the stop. It'll be Miami back to the offense.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents Legends of the Game. He set the standard by which all tight ends are measured. A devastating blocker, he is most remembered for what he did after he caught the ball. His average of over 16 yards per catch is the highest for any tight end over any appreciable period of time. Who was this legend?
Liberty Mutual presents The Fire That Never Happened. Because we continually work to prevent fires, even to giving Liberty Mutual homeowners special insurance discounts when they install smoke detectors. Caring for people is why America believes in liberty.
Lovely evening. America believes
John Mackey defined his position. He played it so well, he was named the NFL's all-time tight end, a true legend of the game.
It may have been 30 years ago, or just yesterday. A roadster caught your eye, and you've never been quite the same. The Mazda Miata. It just feels right.
Barcelona, Spain, home to the world for the 1992 Summer Olympic Games. Next Saturday, the Queen of the Mediterranean will host a tournament of international appeal as Patrick Ewing and the New York Knicks represent the United States against the best Europe has to offer. The McDonald's Open live next Saturday on NBC.
The New York Jets coming with a record of 2-2. They come off the win at New England last week, 37-13. Miami 3-1. And they look to go to 4-1 for the first time since 1985. Last year at this time, Miami was 1-3 coming off a wipeout, a 39-7 loss at Houston. So these are two clubs that have turned around here in the early going. 5:38 remaining in the third quarter. And Gene Barth on the phone. I'm wondering what they'd be reviewing.
It couldn't be anything on the kickoff. They're just saying, now, we found out that the Jets were having some problems with their phones after they stopped Miami in the first half. And it could be a question of if one team cannot use their phones and they're no good, and the other team can't use them either.
Remember Bruce Coslett telling us that he wanted to put a fax machine in because of the short half times now? Well, it's actually only a 13-minute halftime as opposed to 15, but the league will not allow that either. So the fax machine will not be put into use. And apparently that is what the problem is as we check out the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Kansas City maintaining its lead. San Francisco coming back from 14-0 is now tied at Tampa Bay, leading Dallas. The score of most interest, though, Pittsburgh finally scoring an offensive touchdown. Well, Seattle leads New England, Minnesota over Detroit. And there's Pittsburgh in front of San Diego. Paul, as you know, the bad joke going around Pittsburgh these days, we did the Pittsburgh-Miami game last week. They painted the end zone on Bubby Brister's front door, and the alleged punchline is, and he couldn't get in.
He couldn't cross the goal line.
I'm sorry.
So he couldn't get in the house.
Why don't you explain it to him?
Nice. But look at, I'll get back to Pittsburgh in just a second.
It is a first down at the 25-yard line. Logan, who has replaced Sammy Smith, who came hobbling off earlier this third quarter. Logan stopped by Clifton.
Tom Olivedati last week told us when they were up and playing in Pittsburgh, he said, you know, this team can explode. I mean, they've got a pretty good football team, and I hope they don't explode against us, which they didn't do last week. But all of a sudden, against the San Diego Chargers, there's 3 touchdowns that are involved in this thing now with Pittsburgh. They're ahead 24-14.
Yes, Brister has thrown for 2. It's a 2nd and 6 at the 29. 5 minutes left in the third. The game tied at 13. Logan tripped up, and he was stopped at the line. Combination of the left defensive tackle Scott Mercereau, outside linebacker Joe Mott.
Joe Mott is there, and there's Mercereau, number 94. He gets a piece of Logan, and then Mott really finishes him off. Logan was going down. People just dove on top of him. But Mercereau getting into the backfield, just there's no place to go. He screws up the play.
It's a 3rd down and 6. Screws up the play, huh?
Yeah, he did.
Football terminology.
That's the old locker room deal.
And Marino checking off at the line. And goes sideline. It was thrown away from Duper. Booty on the coverage. And it will be a punting situation. Here's Reggie Roby checking in. And JoJo Townsell will drop back. Well, the previous 2 drives by Marino were strong, one ending up at the goal line right at the end of the half when Smith tried to cut in from a yard out, but was stopped by the combination of Kelly and Lageman. And this is a beauty by Roby. Council gets across the 30-yard line. A 64-yard punt and a 16-yard return. Rick Graff made the stop.
African Grant is hurt, number 41. He went down. JoJo Townsell made a move on him, and it looked like he twisted either his knee or his ankle.
African Grant out of Englewood, New Jersey. Spent all of last year on injured reserve with a broken thumb. First-year player out of Illinois. There he is, number 41.
Well, he went down, and it looked like he just grabs his knee there. He twisted his knee as he turned, but when you go down to get the return man, you've got to get yourself under control. He was running full speed and tried to stop.
That punt by Roby is longest of the season. A reminder, kick off your night right here on NBC with the new drama series Hull High. And then Lake Stories. Tonight the show will look at the first 48 minutes of a heart attack in real time. An extraordinary story. Lake Stories also has the McMillions number tonight, Paul. And then best-selling author Jackie Collins will bring her spectacular characters to life in an NBC world premiere, Jackie Collins' Lucky Chances. That's beginning tonight, right here on NBC. This is the first of an NBC doubleheader. In the second game, it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams from Anaheim. That is coming up following the Dolphins and the Jets. African Grant is being helped off the field. 3:54 remaining in the third quarter as the Jets take over at their 32-yard line. 84 Dressel in motion. Johnny Hector is stopped. So the Miami defensive unit continues its solid play here in the third quarter. That time the outside linebacker David Griggs made the stop. Correction on that punt by Roby. It was 54 yards rather than 64 just a moment ago.
Look at 92 Griggs as he gets to the outside. I mean, there's just no place to go. That's linebacker pursuit. Standing up the offensive man and moving down the line of scrimmage, and don't give the running back an opportunity to cut it up.
Second down 10 from the 32. And O'Brien's pass is batted down. It was Griggs once again. David Griggs out of the University of Virginia, spent most of last year on Miami's developmental squad. Originally a 7th-round draft pick of the New Orleans Saints.
To the left of your screen, O'Brien's going to just a half roll, and he's trying to pop the ball out here. Watch Griggs. I mean, you talk about up in the air. That ball hit him almost in the face. That's how high in the air he was. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
That was a Patrick Ewing rejection. It's a third down and 10. 3:10 left in the third. Oh, what a hit. Penalty marker down as Blair Thomas was popped. Free safety Lewis Oliver on the stop and the call against the Jets.
I just looked down here and E.J. Jr. signaled number 54 that it's against the Jets. So we're absolutely sure it's against them.
Illegal use of the hands to the face. 72 offense. Penalty refused. Fourth down.
That is the right tackle, Brett Miller. And the Jets forced to punt.
You know, what a switch in halves. You know, the first half, the Jet offensive line just totally handled Miami's defensive line. The second half, the Miami Dolphins, their defensive line, they're getting off the ball.
Brokaw back at his 25-yard line. They have some difficulty with that snap. Mark. Tony Mark out to the 20. Brokaw Prokop is back and gets him out of bounds. Joe Prokop, one of the better athletes on this Jets squad. Not an easy touch as punters go, and he made the play.
Prokop really did, and what he did, he set himself he'll set himself just to make sure that Tony Martin doesn't get back to the inside. He's going to keep Tony Martin between right at the sideline, and there's Prokop making sure that he gets Martin out of bounds because he knows he has no more help. Great play by the punter.
A 46-yard punt and a 35-yard return. First down at midfield for Dan Marino and his Dolphins. Play action on the screen. It is incomplete. Good rush by Ron Stallworth. Set for an update now. Let's go to Bob Costas.
All right, Marv, after that unexpected flurry of 3 offensive touchdowns with the Steelers finally breaking through, something goes wrong for them. Here is the fumble. Warren Williams coughs it up near the goal line, and Les Miller recovers for the Chargers. That was a botched handoff between Williams and the new quarterback, Rick Strom, who replaced Bubby Brister, who went out with bruised ribs. It's now Pittsburgh 24, Chargers 14.
All right, Bob, as you see, 2:17 left here in the third. The Jets and Miami tied at 13. Dolphins 2nd and 10 from midfield. Logan with the short pickup. Mark Logan, a strong inside runner, good blocker. Plan B pickup from the Cincinnati Bengals a year ago was stopped by the left defensive end, Ron Stallworth.
You talk about Tony Page blocking and his excellent blocking. Watch 49. He'll go to the left. Logan is right behind him. Now here goes Page. He just runs through. He looks to his left. If he looks to his right, he makes the block.
Ulanake at center, Roy Foster for the injured Keaton Sims at the left guard position, Harry Galbraith on the right, and Mark Dennis and Richmond Webb at the tackles. 3rd down and 8. Marino has the first down. Good spin move by Fred Banks.
It's heads-up football because Freddie Banks, when he went down and he made the turn, Marv, he knows, he's got to know that he doesn't have the first down. Look, he's about 2 yards short right here. But watch the move he makes to get underneath Logament and make the play. That's just hustle. That's heads-up smart football.
Fred Banks in his 5th season from Liberty. He's limping. He's had that ankle problem the last couple of weeks. It is a first down at the 40. And Marino with the time. Then had to get it away because Jeff Loggeman was right there.
This is intentional grounding. The only guy that he's throwing the ball to happens to be a tackle, Richmond Webb. Watch this when he goes back to throw. He sees the heat on, no one's open, and watch where he throws the ball. He throws the ball there, he's ducking. Everybody's looking, but there was nobody out there but a lineman. Now, Page is downfield, but look at here. 78 center, that's Webb, and he doesn't want any part of it. Don't throw that ball to me, boy.
But no call. That is always a very difficult judgment call. 2nd down and 10, and a bullet that is dropped. Would have been a first down. Mark Duper could not hang on.
Marino just amazes me. He really does. O'Brien is having a super day, I think, throwing the football. But I have never seen anybody get it there faster than Marino can. Not only does he have a quick release, but there's something on the ball, and he puts it right where he wants to put it. All you have to do is reach out and catch it.
Numbers on Dan Marino. Last week, a low-key performance as Miami played ball control, so Marino 17 for 28, but played well, bouncing back from a poor day against the Giants. And Ken O'Brien has been outstanding. 3rd down, 10. And that underthrown. Tony Stargell in the coverage. And Tony Martin thought that he was held, but no call made.
Well, you can judge it. Take a look at here's Stargell on Tony Martin. Now they're going downfield. Is that holding? What do you think that is? Didn't have a chance because their patterns are thrown on timing patterns.
And Martin didn't have a chance to get back. About ripped his shirt off. That's holding.
And here's Roby, who had the 54-yard punt in his last attempt. Long count, to look to angle it. And a fair catch at the 11.
Well, he looked to angle it, but he shanked it instead. Just as effective.
He was checking the time on his watch. 27 seconds remaining in the third quarter as we check out the Hertz 10-minute ticker. That's a 30-yard punt for Roby. Houston once again in front. San Francisco had come back from a 14-0 lead. Warren Moon throwing a couple. Seattle leads New England. Minnesota maintaining a 3-point lead on Detroit. It is still Pittsburgh in front of San Diego, and Atlanta leading New Orleans in the third. First and 10 from the 11. Good play action by O'Brien, and incomplete. Intended for Al Toon.
J.B. Brown could not have played Al Toon any better than he did. We've got an injured player down on the field. And that's Cadigan.
Dave Cadigan had a strong game in New England last week. The coaches gave him the Mr. Consistency Award, giving up no sacks, no pressures, no missed assignments. He's come a long way. A #1 draft pick who had been disappointing his first 2 years.
Cadigan's going to go up against Oglesby, and you see it. Sweeney is there. And now watch Cadigan. Does his leg give out? Oh, his knee. It just gave out on him. But I can't tell you how well J.B. Brown just played Al Toon in pass coverage. I mean, it was absolutely perfect.
JB had a good one last week against the Steelers. 12th round draft pick last season, a surprise. In fact, he is the first Dolphin player to earn a starting position after joining the team as a last round draft selection. They continue to work on the leg of Dave Cadigan. Trevor Matic has reported in, so he will replace Cadigan at right guard. A reminder, next Saturday, it will be basketball bursting onto the scene. NBC Sports will be in Barcelona, Spain, the site of the 1992 Summer Olympic Games. And we'll be there for live coverage of the McDonald's Open. New York Knicks representing the United States in an international tournament, matching up with the best players that Europe has to offer. So Patrick Ewing and the Knicks will tip off against the up-and-coming European pros. That'll be our kickoff in coverage of NBA basketball. 3 o'clock Eastern time from Barcelona, Spain, next Saturday.
You know, this hurts a team that's really building. They got the cart ready to come out and get Cadigan, but it really does. And I'm not saying anything at all against Trevor Matic coming in the ball game, but this offensive line is working so well. In that first half, they were just moving everyone. Cadigan, number 66 on Oglesby, 96. Watch his right leg, and he trips right there, and then his leg just pops out. Bob Reese, trainer for the Jets, one time assistant trainer with the Buffalo Bills years ago. That's right. I got all that stuff.
That's a fact of the day. Oh, very nice, Paul. 21 seconds remaining in the third quarter. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast of the use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Miami Dolphins and the National Football League is prohibited. And this game is the property of the National Football League. Jets and Miami Dolphins, all rights reserved. That's a shame because he has played so well. And we'll pass on a report as soon as we get it. A couple of other injury reports. African Grant, we're told, twisted his left knee, and it is a question mark as to whether he will return. And Fred Banks injured his right leg. So he is out. It is a 2nd and 10 from the 11. Matic replacing Cadigan and right guard. Final stages of the third quarter. O'Brien
looking for McNeil, who had peeled off and saw the penalty flag go down.
Got to be in the backfield, illegal motion.
Illegal motion. Had two men moving at the same time in the offense.
Moving at the same time, or more than one. Could be 6 or 7. But Sammy Smith, we found out, has a sore knee, and he also had a hamstring problem coming into the game. So,
yes, the Dolphins having a tough time with injuries.
Cadigan on the sideline.
3rd down and 10. And it is a 1st down. Altoon making the catch across the 20-yard line, and O'Brien able to stay in that pocket for a long time, got the protection, and the end result, a 14-yard advance. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. The Jets and the Dolphins tied at 13. Let's pause for station identification on the empties with Paul McGuire.
I really look good, don't I? I mean, you look a little shaky, but I
Paul,
look great.
a moment ago, very testy with the guys in the truck. It should be pointed out. As this 4th quarter gets underway, 1st down run by Blair Thomas. David Griggs, the outside linebacker, making the stop. The Jets and the Dolphins tied at 13. And those are the stats after 3 quarters of play.
Getting a little closer. Again, time of possession, the only thing it means is, you know, Miami, they took the ball on their 2nd touchdown. They just took one play and threw it downfield. So it's what you do with the time.
Dolphins coming back from a 13-zip deficit. 2nd down, about 1. And Thomas battles for the 1st down. John Offerdahl there to make the stop. Offerdahl, Miami's leading tackler last year, selected as a Pro Bowl starter, although he missed 7 games because of a holdout.
You know, the amazing thing about this game in 3 quarters, the emotion that's been built up, the hard hitting, everything that's going on. There's no turnovers. There are no turnovers in this ball game.
A near capacity crowd here at Joe Robbie Stadium on a beautiful 85-degree day in Miami. O'Brien able to complete, and it's another 1st down. Altoon on the reception. He went for 17, and for Toon, it's his 3rd catch of the day.
Well, I don't know where McKyer is, but I know that there's at least one person that's supposed to cover Altoon. Now here he comes across. There's McKyer downfield, and he's about 12 yards off. He got caught up in the inside with some linebackers and couldn't get across the field to cover Toon. And I know that there's got to be at least one guy on him all the time.
That's now 1st down at the Miami 45. And they go back to the ground. Johnny Hector gets a couple. Recapping the scoring, O'Brien to Moore on a 9-yard touchdown pass. A couple of field goals by Pat Leahy from 25 and from 20 yards away. 13-0 at the half. The Jets stopping that Miami drive in the final seconds of the 1st half. Smith tried to take it over from 1, but was held away. In the 3rd quarter, Logan, 11-yard run, but a bad snap for the point after. And that cost Bengals and Rams coming up next, 2nd part of the doubleheader. And Marino and Duper hooked up on a 69-yard touchdown run. Here's Hector. And the Jets collect another 1st down.
Well, the offensive line is back intact. Cadigan is not in there, but Trevor Maddich, number 64, is doing a great job. When you can run up the middle against the Miami Dolphins, you know when you're running the middle, you're looking at the guards. You got Haight, Sweeney, and now Maddich.
Johnny Hector picked up 11 more, and he has been the Jets' leading rusher. 16 carries, 75 yards. There is Cadigan. We still have not received a report on his injury. 1st down at the Miami 32. And Burkett had to come back for that. Covered by Tim McKyer. Chris Burkett, 6-year man out of Jackson State, making his first catch of the day, but picked up about 3. That's it.
Coslett sending the plays in. You know, it must be running the ball because Al Toon's on the sideline.
2nd down, 7. Lots of movement. 55 Green shoving the tight end Dressel to the ground.
Well, the tight end can move. Remember that. But he goes across the line of scrimmage. And then Hughes said, well, I might as well just take a little shot at you. Here he goes. Here's Russell. Now he's beyond the line of scrimmage. He's coming out. And he looks back in to see where everybody is.
5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
It's a penalty against the Jets. But Dressel made a mistake by looking back in instead of looking at Green.
It is called on Dressel a false start for Chris Dressel. It's a 2nd and 12. The Dolphin 34, game tied at 13, 11 minutes remaining, 4th quarter. Play action. And it's picked off. McCuyer on the interception.
Marv, on that play, O'Brien threw the ball, tried to throw it to Dressel, the tight end. And McCuyer, they had a zone on that side, and McCuyer, they got a flag against Miami. Holding against Miami. But McCuyer was just sitting there. He was a short man and just read O'Brien's eyes and moved in and picked the ball off. But they're going to call holding on the Miami Dolphins, and that's an automatic 1st down for the New York Jets.
Defensive holding, outside linebacker on the right side. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
And we still have no turnover.
So Tim McCuyer, who had 2 interceptions last week against Pittsburgh, has this one erased. The Jets maintaining possession. 1st down at the Dolphin 29. 4 to the left and 2 right. A penalty called on Hugh Green for the hold. O'Brien on the screen as Brad Baxter. Louis Oliver up from his free safety position to get Baxter out of bounds. He went for 9. Smooth. Mr. Smooth, as his teammates call him. Brad Baxter, last season dropped by Minnesota during preseason, ended up on the Jet developmental squad. He was activated for the season finale against Buffalo. Told us last night that his teammates did not particularly like going up against him during preseason, during scrimmages, because he hits so hard. He's a punishing runner. And this time he's turned back as he looks for the 1st down. Carl Wilson leading that Miami charge.
He said they gave me the name Smooth, and he said, I am. I'm smooth.
Okay, 3rd and 1.
Well, right at the start of the telecast, we're talking about both clubs looking to balance their play selection. It has not turned out to be the case because the way the game has gone.
The Jets are about even. It's Miami because they were so far behind. They were 13-0 down. Somebody, or the cup blowing across the field.
3rd and less than a yard. O'Brien on the keeper and has the 1st down.
1st down, New York Jets.
Again, the important thing about this drive is that the Jets are now in field goal position, but they're just running time off the clock.
1st and 10.
Now down to 9 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And the Jets 1st down at the 19-yard line. Pat Leahy has hit from 25 and from 20. O'Brien with the sideline pattern, succeeding with Blair Thomas, covered by the strong safety Jarvis Williams. Only 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down 6.
And again, in the 3rd quarter, Jets offensive line kind of slacked off a little bit. I mean, it wasn't that they weren't trying, but in this fourth quarter, you take a look at them again, and especially on this drive, this offensive line, when you give O'Brien that much time, he's going to find somebody that's open.
And right now, the Jets have Criswell and Miller at the tackles. Matic for Cadigan at right guard. Dave Watson in at left guard for Haight. And Baxter running inside the 10-yard line. On the tackle of Brad Baxter.
Watch where Baxter runs. It's like a slant play. Here he comes out. He's running away from the quarterback. O'Brien gets to him, and the offensive line just moving the defensive line downfield. And Brad Baxter picks up about 4, and they're about a yard short now of a first down.
3rd and 1. And again on the keeper. Ken O'Brien did pick up the first down just a moment ago in this same situation. Let's see where they spot it.
He's got to get the ball almost to the 9. If he makes this thing, he's going to make it by the nose of the ball. I can never understand how they can mark that thing when they're all in a big pile. You got like 10 guys down there on the bottom. It'll be by the nose. Good, huh?
Very impressive ball. It's a 1st and goal at the 9. The Jets and the Dolphins tied at 13. And another long drive by the New York Jets. We're down to 7.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. 2 is to the left. And now Mathis split wide right side. O'Brien looking for Mathis, then decided to throw it away. He was covered by McKyer.
Oh, McKyer had Mathis just locked up. There was no place to go. He tried to put a move on Tim McKyer, and McKyer wouldn't have anything to do with it. He just stood there right in his face. Man had 2 interceptions last week, and an almost today.
And in the past, a man who has not been shy in terms of assessing himself. He's called himself the Michael Jordan of cornerbacks. He said he is on a whole other level when it comes to cornerbacks. 2nd down and goal from the 9.
Blitz.
And O'Brien is hauled down for the 2nd time. The strong safety, Jarvis Williams, off the blitz.
It's the first time today they did it. We saw it a couple of times against Pittsburgh last week, but watch him just sneak up. Here's Jarvis Williams, 26, and there's really nobody out there to block him. The tight end doesn't even move. Mark Boyer, he's already by Boyer.
It is a loss of 4, 3rd and goal from the 13. O'Brien throws end zone, and Kuhn, the intended receiver, covered by Brown.
You know, this is a contact sport, and they've called some stuff about holding and pass interference, but Brown and Toon started a new dance step. In the left-hand corner of the screen, these 2 guys, look at this, they're all locked up down there. The official, that's one of those no harm, no foul deals.
A 30-yard field goal attempt for Pat Leahy. 2 for 2 on the day. Has an angle to the right. And Leahy puts it right through. 3rd field goal of the afternoon. Pat Leahy is now 9 for 10 on the season.
Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Chevy Trucks. More people are winning with the heartbeat of America. By Siemens, leading-edge technology that gives you an edge. And by AC Delco Automotive Parts. AC Delco, it's like buying time.
Well, the Jets have the ball for 8 minutes, 53 seconds. 19 plays, 76 yards, leading to the field goal by Leahy. Mark Higgs handling that Leahy kickoff, a good one, preventing the run back. And they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, and Dan Marino and the offensive unit check back in.
My neighbor was out there on the kickoff return team, Bert Widener.
Oh, yes, from
Buffalo, New York.
Outside of Buffalo, right?
No, Buffalo's outside of Eden, New York. Bert lives right down the road. Family have a lot of chickens and things. Great barbecue chicken.
Bert Widener, a first-year player out of Kent State, playing special teams.
Attaboy.
6:28 remaining, fourth quarter. And the Dolphins trail by 3. Marino incomplete. Hasty on the coverage of Duper. It'll be a 2nd and 10 at the 20. Miami Dolphins coming at 3 up and 1 down. Last week, one of their best defensive performances in the history of this franchise. Pittsburgh held to only 8 first downs, 1 in the first half. Pittsburgh had the ball only 11 possessions. Miami had them 3 and out right throughout. Jets turning the tables here on them today. Here's Marino. He's throwing it away, and a flag is down. James Hasty does not like the call. He and Duper got involved.
Well, Marino was actually throwing the ball away. James Hasty, number 40. Here it comes. Now, is this thing catchable again? Watch this.
However, the pass is overthrown. No chance to catch it.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with the play.
No, they say
there's nothing wrong with the play. That's just good coverage.
No flag. The official there has to throw the flag down, but because it was not a catchable ball, it is no penalty.
Yeah, but there was no penalty anyway. He didn't do anything. He wasn't close enough to do anything.
Actually, Duper wasn't upset. Nice shot of Jim Sweeney.
Sweeney, nice hat. Like that. New style. That'll be in. They'll sell millions of those in New York.
Marino has got incomplete his last 5 as a 3rd down and 10. And Duper with a gorgeous catch across the 40-yard line. 20-yard pass play as Duper made the leaping grab. Covered by John Booty.
Yeah, watch where this ball's put, though. Up high enough, no underneath coverage, and Duper knows it's coming, and it's humming. Watch where Marino puts this ball. Up, away. Booty has no chance. Duper's the only one that has a chance at it, and he catches it. How many times has he done that?
Dolphins first down, and it's Logan trying to pick his way, but just got a couple. Joe Kelly stepping him up. 5.5 to go in this fourth quarter. The Jets 16, the Dolphins 13. First part of the NBC NFL doubleheader. Cincinnati visiting Anaheim to go up against Jim Everett and the LA Rams. That is coming up next.
Nice helmets, huh? They used to have marbles that looked like that. Remember when you were a kid? Your helmet, they were good ones, too. They were lucky marbles.
It is a 2nd and 8 at the 43. Marino off the roll. And has another first down. Banks on the reception. Hasty with the stop. It's a 12-yard gain. And Miami on the move.
Duper's going over to the official. He's on the other side of the field saying he's being held. Here comes Banks now. Coming downfield. Hasty is there. But he sees Marino. He knows he's rolling out to his side. So he comes back to him. And Duper was complaining on the other side. Here goes Duper. Now, what are you complaining about? That? Stargell. That was good play by Stargell. You're supposed to get hit.
A completion this time. Page out of the backfield, stopped by Mott, picked up only 2. Tony Page has been quiet today in the reception department.
Well, he's had a linebacker on him and he's had a safety on him, and Mott that time, number 51, just played it perfectly. They'll give you 2 yards. We're inside of 4 minutes. Looking at overtime.
Looking at overtime.
I like that. Sounded good to me.
2nd down 8. At the 43, play action. And incomplete, thrown off the mark, intended for Duper. Mark Clayton, sidelined earlier in the game after re-aggravating his ankle. Mark with the exciting looking shorts.
Hat to match. That's nice. I mean, I don't think you wear that out of the stadium though, do you? I mean, you don't go downtown in that outfit. You look good then, Marv.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You really would. You look great in that.
It's a 3rd down and 8 with 3:43 to go in the 4th. And Marino with a bullet for another 1st down inside the 30. This time it is Andre Brown making the catch.
I know television shows you everything, but that thing it's got to be whistling down there when it goes by defensive backs. I mean, he just fires the ball, and you don't have a chance. Here it comes. Watch the release. Here, bing, that's gone. Now that thing is fired, and it hits the guys right in the numbers. Here comes Brown. He's going to just turn up. Look at this ball. Boom. You can't react to it.
14-yard advance. 1st down at the Jet, 28. The tight end, Edmonds, in motion. Nice hole from Troy Stratford. Don Shula likes to spot Stratford. You'll occasionally see him in 3rd down situations. This time went earlier with him. Dennis Byrd, Kyle Clifton on the tackle. Stratford went for 5. Clock is running. 2:40 remaining.
But when you have I'm sorry, Marv, but when you have Stratford and Page in there, you have 2 guys with excellent hands in the backfield, so it gives you 5 receivers.
Now Banks to the right, Cooper at the bottom of your screen. 2nd and 5, and that was off the mark. Once again, Dan Marino, erratic. That pass went astray, intended for Stratford.
He threw it too soon to Stratford. He just rushed the ball because Stratford was open. Even though Joe Kelly was out there, he just gets rid of it a little bit too soon. Watch how quick he throws it out here. And he's not set up. The ball just goes away. You don't see the defender in the picture. He had time.
3rd down, 5 at the Jet, 23. Jets lead by 3. Dolphin 1st down. Fred Banks with his 4th catch of the day.
The Jets are in a prevent defense, Marvin. You're only sending 3 people in there. You've got 5 blockers on the line. Plus, you got Jensen sitting back there, so you have a total of 6. Now, look at Marino. He's there. Nichols gets his hand in his face, but Marino has time to throw it. We're at 2 minutes.
2-minute warning. 2-minute warning.
And Marino and the Dolphins doing it most of the day without this man, Mark Clayton. Re-aggravated a twisted ankle. As a result, Fred Banks and Mark Cooper have come up big. Andre Brown has also been a key receiver. Jets 16, Dolphins 13. 2 minutes left. 4th quarter. 1st down for Miami. At the Jet 16. Play action. Underthrown. Now let's get back to NFL Live. Here's Bob Costas.
All right, Marv, the Bucs were 3-1. The Cowboys were 1-3. Tampa Bay in a rare situation, favored on the road. But the upset for the Cowboys, a mild one. Emmitt Smith with the 14-yard scoring run, and Dallas prevails at home, 14-10. Let's go back to Miami.
All right, Bob, so the Cowboys now 2-3, and Tampa Bay dropped to 3 up, 2 down, 2nd and 10 at the 16. That is Banks in motion. Stratford works his way inside the 15, helped by the block of Tony Page. Brian Washington, the strong safety, made the stop.
49 Page, we talked about his great blocking ability. Stud blocker. Look at that block back to the inside. Kyle Clifton just takes him and turns him to the inside. He opens the hole. They only picked up 4 because Washington was there.
So a 3rd down play with 1 minute and 20 remaining. In the 4th quarter, Pete Stoyanovich waiting in the wings, pending the outcome of this play. 3rd and about 7.
haven't gone to Jensen but once or twice today. Look at this.
Touchdown! Mark Duper with his second touchdown catch of the day, and the Dolphins take the lead.
And I believe the guy he beat on the outside was Travis Curtis, number 49. And that ball, you know, I've seen Marino do it so many times, and I still get amazed to watch how the zip and where he puts that ball. He puts it right where he wants to.
So Mark Duper, who hooked up with Marino on a 69-yard touchdown pass play in the third quarter, has done it again with Marino. Stoyanovich providing the Dolphins with a 4-point lead. A minute 3 remaining. It had been a touchdown drought for Mark Duper. 1 touchdown catch last season, 1 2 years ago. He's caught 2 today, his first 2 of the season.
Stargell, 45 is up there, but watch Travis Curtis, 49. Now, he's a safety, and the way Marino throws the ball in, it's almost impossible for him to get there to help on the inside. Stargell had to cover him all by himself. Duper made the catch. Marino put it where he had to.
Miami 20, Jets 16, minute 3 remaining in the fourth quarter, and Stoyanovich just pounds it out of sight. He has come on in this department. So they'll bring it out to the 20, although this has not been a prolific scoring game. Look at the total yards.
They go up and down the field, don't they? And remember, Miami came into this game as second in defense in the National Football League. The Jets did a lot of that in the first half. But remember one thing. In the fourth quarter, coming into this game, the Jets have only scored 6 points. And they have, what, 3 in this fourth quarter. And that's it.
The crowd reacting to the Miami defensive unit. And down goes O'Brien. Jeff Cross with his 6th sack of the season as the Jets go to the no huddle. And down goes O'Brien again. It is Jeff Cross, sack number 7, and a timeout taken by the Jets.
New York timeout. New York first timeout.
They're going wild here in Miami.
Why don't we have as much quiet here as we had on the greens?
Okay. Come on, Duval, and they have no reaction.
No, the way you shoot these ducks are going to have to wear helmets.
No, you just need happiness to enjoy life. Very deep, Darnell. Very deep.
Wow. Levi's 100% cotton Dockers. If they're not Dockers, they're just pants.
I look like my mom, but I act like my dad. Which is...
Well, be careful. I feel bad for your mom.
I was enjoying my Halloween when she walked in. Nice can.
You have to help me find my party. What's your rate? 72 beats a minute. I just know that it's in a castle, and there's lots of Coors Light.
A castle like this?
That's it.
Get everything you need at Coors Light Halloween headquarters, because it isn't Halloween without the silver bullet.
You're a doll.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, that's that new Chevy. It's an APV.
An AP who?
Yeah, it's a code. Top secret. We're talking adjustable composite panels. See that? Zero-gravity modular seats.
Oh, yeah?
Resilient mollustic cup polyurea fenders, and it's got this...
Chevy Luna APV. A very original way more people are winning with the heartbeat.
Biorhythms.
Biorhythm?
Yeah.
And now it's easier than ever to win with the heartbeat.
That is the right defensive end, Jeff Cross, in his 3rd year out of Missouri. A pleasant surprise for the Dolphins last year. Came into today with 5 sacks. in a tie for the lead in that department in the AFC with Bruce Smith and the Cincinnati rookie James Francis. He had 3 last week against Pittsburgh, too late in the game. He's come up with 2 in this series. 3rd and 25, and O'Brien can't find anywhere. Now goes short range. McNeil will try to get out of bounds. No, he does not. Gets out to the first down marker, and now a timeout is taken. Jarvis Williams
New York second timeout.
on the stop,
It'll be a
and the Jets are down to 1 timeout left with 36 seconds remaining, 4th quarter.
What a heads-up play by O'Brien, because the rush is on. All the defense does in a situation like that is they tee off and go, and they only have 3 rushers, Miami. And watch what O'Brien does. He steps up, and he knows that he can't run it anywhere, and he catches Freeman McNeil coming across. The Dolphins are playing prevent defense totally, which allows Freeman McNeil to catch the ball. But again, why he didn't try to get out of bounds, I don't know. We talked to Oliver Dottie a week ago about the prevent defense, but they're in a situation now that they would give up, you know, of course, the Jets wouldn't go for a field goal anyway, can't win the ball game, but they'll give you all that short range stuff. They got 1 timeout, 36 seconds to go. What you have to do, if you want to take a chance, the Jets, is to throw that ball in the middle of the field. But the problem with that is it eats up the clock, and it's tough to get to the out-of-bounds side. But they give you the middle, they don't give you the outside.
Jets were just short of the first down. A wobbler thrown by O'Brien, who was under pressure. Pass intended for Terrence Mathis. And the Jets calling. Let's see now.
They got some pressure up. Oglesby is the guy that comes up, and he comes inside. But they also rushed on that play Rodney Thomas, who is one of the dime players. Wisconsin, I'm going to tell you something. He's happy with this group of players. I mean, he really has a lot of respect for these guys. These guys have worked hard.
Miami has taken over on downs. An official timeout was indicated. So Miami will look to run it out here. 31 seconds remaining. The clock running down. Thanks to our producer, Glenn Adamo, director John McDonough, statistician Harry Hockhauser, and our spotters Harry Von Suskill and Terry Brumfield. Now the final timeout is taken by the Jets. Well, the Jets appear to have this one under control. They had a 13-0 lead, but the Dolphins turned it, sparked by their defense, in the second half. Logan with a 11-yard touchdown run. They botched the snap for the extra point. Then Marino to Duper on a 69-yard touchdown. Leahy connected from 30 yards away, his 3rd field goal of the day. And then Marino to Duper for a 13-yard pass play. For what turns out to be the winning touchdown. That will wrap it. Time is running down. The Dolphins go to a record of 4-1 for the first time since 1985. Boomer and his Cincinnati Bengals facing Jim Everett and the LA Rams. That is just ahead with Dick Enberg and Bill Walsh. Next week, the Dolphins draw a bye. Then they have a Thursday night game, October 18th, home for New England, while the Jets next Sunday are home for San Diego and then face the Bills in Buffalo. Come from behind effort by the Dolphins. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire saying so long from Miami. The Dolphins over the Jets 20-16. We'll be back with Bob and NFL Live in a